All right, Shalom. First and foremost, we're going to give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah
Kodash.
Kodash. Also, double honors to our apostles and our elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well in the scriptures. And salutations to all the brothers out there who push his word in all truth and in all sincerity. And we're just going to do an open forum, with current events. The brother and I were just talking about a couple things. You have pestilence on the rise right now, and that the main topic that's being talked about is what was the virus called again in China?
Corona or Canor virus, something like that.
Salakia, if we're pronouncing it wrong. But it's just, this plague that's basically out in China. And it actually hit the States too. I think there was another country that it hit as well. But, these plagues are, they're coming, man. Hey, these pestilence are here, And then you have, that plague is so intense in China that one of their major cities, I think it was, I forgot what the name of it started with the W. I'd have to check it, but basically one of their major cities is basically quarantined right now. All right, and that's that's serious. That's gonna lead to martial law, and all sorts of riots are gonna occur out there. All right.
I was just looking up the virus. It's called the coronavirus. It says this is an update. This is updated 3 minutes ago. Coronavirus live updates. China suspends travel from more cities. First death outside epicenter reported.
Yep. All right. So it's spreading. All right, spreading like wildfire. All right. And then we're gonna start seeing more plagues because that's something that we hear about here and there, but the Lord's gonna start allowing these plagues to start killing instead of maybe a dozen here, a dozen there, maybe 100 at most. We're gonna start seeing thousands of people dying, man. All right, these things got to come to pass. All right, and that's gonna, like I mentioned, that's gonna lead to martial law. It's gonna be like that movie, I Am Legend.
Yep.
They had that virus get leaked out, and pretty much, you see there was a scene where Will Smith, he was trying to leave, I believe it was Manhattan. All right, get out of like New York City, and he was by one of the bridges, and they had the military personnel at the bridge, and they were only allowing people, so many people to cross, and those are the ones who weren't infected, man, by this disease. All right, something as these pestilence can allow these things to occur. All right, I think the brother's about to pull out a precept.
This is all right. This is Ezekiel 14 and 21. It says, "For thus saith Yahweh power, how much more when I send my four sword judgments upon Jerusalem, the sword and the famine and the noisome beast and the pestilence, to cut off from it man and beast." And there you go. And that's exactly what's happening right now, man. And like the scriptures say, the Lord is first gonna judge his house, and then he's gonna judge the rest of the people. So this isn't just gonna happen to the Israelites, to Jerusalem. It's gonna happen to everybody. When the Lord comes back, upon his return, which clearly we're at that time now, he's gonna come and judge, the heathen and the 2/3, and save the elect. But before his return, he said that he was gonna come with earthquakes, signs in heaven, pestilence, which is what we're seeing now. All that I just mentioned, that's in the scriptures, that's happening right now before our eyes. It's not a coincidence that it's all happening at the same time. It's prophecy being fulfilled.
Yep. That's right. And it's only going to get worse out here. People think that, let's say, they, have a vaccine, be able to control this, virus or whatever. Hey, as the scriptures say, when they say peace and safety, then sudden destruction. All right, it's only going to get worse. There's going to be another virus that comes out. Another plague. More natural disasters. More riots. Things are just going to intensify, and we're seeing it. We're seeing these things occur, man. And then eventually that chip is going to get pushed, because that's what's going to. All these things are leading up to that chip. All right, whether it be the dollar, crashing. You have what is that? Hackers, doing identity theft, to the uproars of the people, to World War III. Because what they're gonna say too, and I'm speaking as man right now, they're gonna this World War III is gonna get pushed more and more, and they're gonna push that you have to have this chip in order for the government to know your true identity. All right, that you're not a terrorist or even a domestic terrorist, because you're gonna have so many uprisings in these streets that the people are gonna be labeled as domestic terrorists, man, and they're gonna say you need this chip so we know, we know who you are, we know that you're not a threat to this society,
Right. Yep.
And we see it, man. We see all these things coming.
Hey, I was just telling the brother earlier on that now that in the airports they're gonna require a DNA sample from you, just for that purpose, to see that you're not a threat, to see that you're not a terrorist, so it can know that you're in good standings, so to speak, and they see, and that's how Esau's full of shit, because this started with the whole immigrants, and they were saying, oh, they were doing it for the immigrants because of this and this reason. But in reality, it was just a test run. Now that they did that, now they're bringing it to everybody,
Yep.
The U.S. citizens or not. Everybody's going to have to take a DNA test in the airport, which eventually that's going to lead to what? The RFID chip. Then they're going to require for you to have a RFID chip to travel, If not, you're going to have to stay where you're at until you get it. These are the times that we're coming to, man.
Yep. And they're pushing that also in like the workplace and the schools, man. Because I know I seen with these vaccines, right? And they do it all over. With these vaccines, right? You have to have a certain certain vaccines, to get into like a public school, for your children. I know in New Jersey, they basically said that you can't say that, due to my religious beliefs, I'm not going to get these vaccines. It's in law right now that you can't say that anymore. So they're already cutting that option out, all right? Mm-hmm. And then if you don't get these vaccines, hey, these parents are going to go to jail. They could take your children away and say you're not fit to be a parent.
Yep.
We've concluded that with your actions, you're actually now a hazard to your child. They'll say it's child endangerment.
Right.
They'll say that, and they'll label it on you. That's what's coming. And even out here in Chicago, in Illinois, because we live in Chicago, I got children, and we say that too. And there's like, basically they make these like little loopholes where it's like, okay, yeah, you necessarily don't have to give your kid a vaccine, but if you don't have this vaccine, your kid can't come to school.
Right. Yep.
So it's no matter what, you like basically have to get this stuff. But it's gonna get down to a point where they're gonna say that, look, you have to have this chip. It's all gonna go down to that chip, man. And you won't even get that scripture out.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I got it. This is Revelations 13 and 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Yep. And the image of the beast is what? The philosophies, the doctrines, So whoever doesn't worship that new world order, which that chip is a big part of it, they're going to be put to death. That's ultimately what it's going to boil down to. And how is Esau going to justify it? Hey, by saying also we can know that there's no terrorists, there's no sick people, all of this just like, he could push his agenda. It says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor.
Yeah, Salaki, can you look up that word causeth? Because it's a heavy definition.
All right, this is the word causeth in verse 16 in Revelations 13. All right, this is the Greek word.
Strong's G 4160, poieo.
And it almost sounds, that word poieo almost sounds like the word plan. All right, It's kind of similar. No, read it.
This is to make, with the names of things made, to produce, construct,
Yeah,
form,
produce, construct, form.
fashion,
Yep.
to be authors of,
To be authors of. So they're basically creating a situation to happen to push this thing. Okay, keep going.
to be
To make ready.
the cause, to make ready, to prepare.
Yeah, to make ready to prepare. So that's pretty much what we needed. All right. So they're gonna somehow formulate this whole scenario.
Yeah.
All right. They're gonna. It's not gonna be due to like random events happening, where, you know, they need to. They're, you know, to push this, right. They're actually gonna. What is that? Order out of chaos.
Yep.
They're gonna create the chaos, and then, you know, they're gonna
Give you the solution.
yeah, give you the solution. Okay.
Yep.
And that solution is that chip. All right.
All right, which is the same motto, the same thing that Isa's always done. This is his motto. Order out of chaos.
Yep. That problem, action, solution.
Yep. You know, they create the problem. They get a reaction for other people, and then what? They give their solution, not the right solution, their solution, and to where they want the people to go, where they want them to accept.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
In 16 it says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
So yeah, it doesn't matter what person you are, whether you be a infant to a elderly person, to somebody that's, you know, rich in the society, to the, you know, the homeless, or whether it be somebody that's in jail or walking around freely, so to speak. All right, you're gonna have to get this chip, all right? Because when you go into, it says receive a mark. That mark goes into the Greek word charagma, which means basically a cutting or insertion into the flesh. And in order to get that chip, you have to cut your flesh open, and they have to insert, you know, that device in you. All right, and they already have these professionals that are doing it to certain people already.
Yeah.
You know, this stuff is you know, around. It's not, you know, something that you just see in, you know, one of these, you know, movies like, oh, this is going to be in the future. No, it's already here.
No, yeah, right.
It's here, man, and it's getting, you know, pushed, you know, more and more as time passes. You know, you see a little, you know, news clip here, little article there. All these things are happening, man.
Right. What do you think? If you're paying attention, what do you think? Every store around you, is they're all turning cashless. Now it's only they only accept card or payment by phone.
Yeah, and I was gonna say that's even getting obsolete too. A lot of these places, they don't. Not that they're not accepting debit and credit cards anymore, but it's becoming obsolete. They want you to actually use your phone. You know, that's the next step. All right, just use your Apple Pay, your Android Pay. You know, and it's gonna get, you know, now we were talking about this with the Amazon store. Instead of using your debit and credit card, they wanted you to basically have your biometrics as your payment. All right, they wanted you to get your you know, to basically scan your hands and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, they want to do that. They want to start getting more into the biometrics, because that's ultimately leading up to what? The actual you know, you actually being chipped. You know, and you see all these stores, like even when you go into a lot of these modern gas stations, when you go pay at the pump now, you know, a lot of times they like have the scanner for your card. But if you notice, where you put your hand, it always scans like right where the chip will be placed, because it's always in between the thumb and the what is this, the index finger. Okay, and that, if you notice where you place your hand, it would basically scan that part of your you know, it would scan that part. You know, they're getting ready for this stuff, man. All right, is there more to that or no?
It says, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name.
And we know that it's not talking about like a philosophy, you know, an embargo, because, you know, you have these other camps that push it. It specifically goes into a it says to buy or sell. And when you actually even look up them words, it's literally talking about trade. Okay, so what is going to be that new currency? You have to ask yourself that. Well, what is going to be that new currency then? If it's not, coins, not dollars, all right? It's that chip, man. That RFID chip, because that has the ability to, you have the ability to make payments. You already have that in, what's that, a company, 3 Square Market? Okay?
Yeah.
That's a company in Wisconsin. And it's crazy because a brother mentioned this to me. 3 Square, when you, you do all that adding up, it goes into 666 basically, man. You know? All right? That stuff is not by coincidence, man.
Yep. Hey, shit. I think Comedy Central just did a skit on that. With that fat NW. You know, she was right there, basically, talking about the chip, and I believe it was, she did an interview with 3 Square Market, but they were making it into a joke. They were, what do you call it, desensitizing.
Yep.
But they're putting it out there so that by the time they actually push it, people will just be accustomed to it. It's just a chip. It ain't no big deal.
Mm-hmm. And with the apostles, starting with the apostles on down, they always said that they're going to use these, movie stars, these professional athletes to, promote that chip, because you're going to start hearing about rappers literally talking about the chip, and in their video, they're going to be able to do like, get into like secret clubs, just top-notch places. VIPs. They're not even going to have to bring in cash,
Right.
They're just going to have that chip.
Well, shit, you already have Drake. There's a song I was listening to the other day. He said, I don't carry cash because all my money's digital. Little things like that these rappers are going to say, and then everybody, by the time you know it, they're not going to be flaunting out cash in their music videos. They're going to be showing off their hand. Yep. Talking about, I got the chip, making songs about it. And then what? Everybody else is going to follow and start getting the chip.
Then they're going to make it convenient, too.
Yep.
They're going to make it seem like, because, going back to what I said, you got a lot of people who are doing hacking right now. All right? Yeah. I had a situation happen where somebody hacked into an account of mine. I always hear about it. People talking about, like, they're getting hacked. And they're going to say that, look, this chip is going to, that's going to verify your identity, man. You don't want to get, hacked. Have this. Then, like, with it going at the stores, people they have no patience anymore, that they want that instant gratification. So they want to, like, basically, get their stuff and walk out the stores. They don't want to deal with the line. They don't want to deal with, how even when you, like, insert your, debit card, it takes time. They just want to, basically swipe and go. Literally, isn't that like one of the, man, that's like a saying, man. One of these corporations, I forgot who it is. They call it swipe and go. Salaki, I can't remember the company, but I think it was like, I don't know, one of these Visas or some shit, man. One of these credit card companies. They want you to just swipe and go, and that's just a prelude to the chip, man. This stuff is coming. You got something?
Yeah. Hey, like the scriptures say, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. We know what ultimately why he's doing it. No matter how good he tries to make it seem, no matter what he tries to create for us to try to persuade us, we know that ultimately, is for him to what? To push his new world order and try to get control over the whole world. Trying to be as God, like the scriptures say. So we know his ulterior motives. This is 2 Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. We're not ignorant of his devices, man. We know what this is. We know what this means, and we know what it means and what will happen if we take it. So that's why right now we gotta build up our faith and strength, our spirit, our mindset. So when that time comes, and it gets to the point where which it is, it gets to the point where you can't do nothing unless you have the chip, that we'll be able to have that faith to keep on going, have that faith to keep our faith towards Yahweh Shemi Hawashai and not give into this chip, because this chip, you not having the chip, it means what? We just read it, by yourself. You're not gonna be able to travel, use public transportation. You're not gonna be able to buy certain things. You know, you're gonna be an outcast. A perfect example of that was that movie. Was it The Running Man?
Yep.
You know, The
Yep.
Running Man. You had people that were underground. You know,
Mm-hmm.
just sneaking through the city. You know, that's a reality to us, man. That's gonna happen. And if you don't have that faith, hey, you're gonna cave in as soon as Esau has a gun to your head, as soon as he threatens your family, as soon as he takes out food from you, you're gonna cave in, man. You know, so yeah, you can't be ignorant of his advices. You gotta know what it means, and you gotta have that faith. So no matter what, even if it means death, that you're not gonna take it.
That's right.
You know.
That's right.
You know, and really, this is for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You know, because you are the chosen people of the Most High, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. So you especially are not to take that, because if you take it, what you're basically proclaiming is that Esau is your God.
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna end it with this one. You don't have anything. This is Revelations 14:9. This is the judgment. You know, if you choose to ignore our message, you know, the prophets, and telling you not to take the chip, this is what's going to happen. Revelations 14:9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand. See right there, they didn't specify it, just at hand. You know, a lot of people want to say that, well, it's only in the, see, it says right hand, I got mine in the left. Like, nah, this is period. You can get it on your ass cheek. You still got the chip.
Even when you go into that word right in the Greek, it actually just goes into your dominant hand. You know, see, that's the thing. That's one thing about the Bible. All right, you have to actually go into the basically the ancient text that it was written in, and the two texts that it was written in. It was the Hebrew and the Greek. That's why we go into it quite frequent. Okay. To get understanding of the scriptures, because if there's a lot of words that they even have this term called lost in translation, where it's hard to transfer or translate a particular word from one language to another language. You might not even actually have a word for it in another language. I know this brother, he speaks Spanish, and there's certain sayings that's spoken in Spanish that he can't really translate in English. And vice versa, So, we have to go into these words. And like I said, that word right actually goes into your dominant hand, man. So it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter where you get it. You get this chip, you're going to be destroyed, man.
That's what it is.
That's it, man.
Like it says right here. The angel said with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So you're going to receive this horrible judgment, in the presence of who? In the presence of the elect, in the presence of the angels, in the presence of Yahweh Shai. We're going to be seen, and we're going to be, Lord willing, we're those men, that get delivered and endure until the end. We're going to be seeing you guys who took the chip, who laughed at us for not taking it, being destroyed, man.
Yep.
And it's not gonna be an easy destruction, man. It's just the wine of the wrath of Yahweh without mixture. You're gonna get that full judgment, man. So however the Lord seems fit, but you're gonna feel every bit of it.
Yeah, they kind of show you that, for visual sake, they show you that in Terminator 2. When Sarah, that scene with Sarah Connor, and she, you basically sees the nuke hit the city of LA, and that fire comes. When she was standing on the fence, when she was getting burnt up, it was very slow. The Lord can slow down, that time for you. It may be, in reality, it may be a quick 1, 2, 3 thing, but during that actual process, the Lord can make your mind, slow everything down. Where you, like how the brother said, you're going to feel every little thing. Like brothers have said this, it can feel like almost like an eternity getting burnt up,
Yeah.
And then even afterwards, for you Israelites, you're gonna come back into the kingdom shamefaced. You know, you're gonna be, you know, looking down because, you know, you didn't take heed to the message that the prophets were speaking.
Yep.
And it was ultimately the message of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, your power. You were being rebellious.
Yep.
And that's something, you know, you're going to have to live with for a long time. And, you know, when everyone knows this, everyone's had a situation like this happen where they've done something, you know, wrong, and everyone knows about it. And, you know, they got to live with that situation, you know, that action that they've done. And they're not proud of it. And that's what's going to happen. You know, you're not going to be proud of what you've done in, you know, this life.
Yeah.
You know?
That's it.
Hey, but with that, you know, hopefully you were all edified. And, yeah, these prophecies, they're coming, man. You know, and then they're here. They're not even coming. They're here, man.
Yep.
And it's getting, you know, more intense. Just wait, man. This year, 2020, we've been saying it for a while. It's going to be a ride, man. It's already. There's so much going on. It's hard to report everything.
Yep.
That's why we have a body. You know, one brother might report this about this article. Another brother might report about this article. You know what I mean? Like, so everything can get covered. It's just too much. You can't do it all by yourself. Or you'd be literally all day and all night, literally working.
Right.
You know, making videos.
Yeah.
And that's just out of balance, you know. But hey, man, it's a beautiful thing that we're almost out of here. The Lord's, you know, making these moves, man. Hey, what does it say in Ezekiel, the 12th chapter? He's causing this, you know, proverb in Israel to cease. You know? Because, hey, you Israelites think this is not going to happen. You always say, oh, God. They've been saying that, you know, Jesus is coming back. You know, they've been saying that for 2,000 years.
Yeah.
They've been saying this is the end of the world for years. All right? Yeah. Well, the scriptures talk about how when Yahweh Shai got in the scene, that was already the end times, man. So guess what? Yeah, we've been in the end times for a long time. But now we're at the end of the end times.
Yep.
And we're seeing it play out. And if you want to be hard-headed, go right ahead. You know, we don't really care, man, because this is only for the elect. Hey, for the elect, man, hey, just get right, repent, and hey, keep pushing and stay spiritual. I don't got anything else to say.
That's right. No, that's it. You know, hey, just keep your faith and focus on Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. No matter how hectic these things get, don't forget, the Lord is mighty to save. You know, so hey, let everybody have this coronavirus. Let everybody have that. Hey, the Lord still got us. We don't gotta take Esau shit. You know, the Lord, hey, we're under His wings, man. We're in that little sanctuary.
Yep.
He keeps us safe, man. The Lord can have it where you live in a house full of motherfuckers who have that coronavirus, and you still won't get it. You know.
That's right.
It's all about trusting in the Lord, man. Hey, if the Lord be with us, who can be against us? You know. So with that, hey, I hope you brethren were edified. We're going to end it by giving all praises and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Yeshurala that rule well. And salutations to you, Akim, out there in the highways and the byways, preaching His word in truth and in sincerity. Shalom.
Shalom.
Baba.
Baba.